Derby battles between St Helens and Wigan have always attracted huge crowds since that first clash in 1887, and today, no exception. Capacity crowd expected here to see the two teams who proved themselves simply the best. In the semi-finals, St Helens enjoyed a 14-try romp at the expense of Warrington, while Wigan had to cope with strong resistance in the second half from Leeds. And St Bernard, the St Helens mascot, he's been in attendance since the early hours, handing goodies out, especially to the St Helens fans. And great rivalry between the families assembled here at the McAlpine, especially from the outskirts of Billinge and Haydock, between St Helens and Wigan. Many families split down the middle, mum supporting one side, dad supporting the other. Many youngsters here as well. A lot have been here since 1 o'clock, especially those youngsters watching the St Helens schools playing against the Wigan schools. This £16 million stadium, all-seater. And all of them, I think, anticipating the biggest game of the season to date. No one more aware of that than St Helens coach Eric Hughes, and especially the holders' boss, Graham West.
Well, it is. It's probably the biggest game of it, one of the biggest games of the year. Saints Wigan games always are, and it'll be evenly contested.
They've got a record that will probably never be equalled. And it is a challenge, up to date. Everybody who comes along and challenges them, they've managed to repel. I'm hoping that today we are the ones that come along and upset them a little.
You know, I think we've got to just go out there and be patient, make sure of our defence, play our six out, and do the basics right. If we can do that, we've got a very good chance.
The ball control has got to be spot on, the discipline has got to be spot on, and if it's 0-0 after 20 minutes, as long as we have been there and we're on a level playing field with them, I'll settle for 0-0. We're still in the game, and I think that is the platform we've got to aim for.
St Helens appearing in only the second final of this Regal trophy, despite playing in 10 semi-finals, and no survivors on show today from that 1988 15-14 win over Leeds. In contrast, the holders Wigan making their fourth consecutive visit to a final and their ninth in the past 14 seasons. Wigan have defeated Saints on both previous meetings, just 2 tries from Henry Paul proving the difference in that quarter-final last season. No one enjoyed himself more than Saints young wing Joey Hayes on the road to the final. 5 tries in all, 2 against both Hull and Halifax. And also on the right wing for Wigan, Jason Robinson bagged 5 tries, including a hat-trick in that 68-26 win over the Cumbrians at Whitehaven. Pitch in perfect condition. The players, both teams, just waiting to come out there, led by the respective chairman. A nervous time, I think, for St Helens. Not so much, but I think this Wigan side, they are used to the finals. Great applause. Jack Robinson, the Wigan chairman, and Graham West, and Sean Edwards. And one can hardly hear down below there. Such is the crescendo and the noise from this firework display. As if we haven't enough stars here on the field. We certainly have. There in Anthony Sullivan, the Welshire wingman, 24 tries this season. And the crowd, always themselves, I think, a little nervous as the dignitaries come out to shake hands with the players. The pitch, as I said, in perfect condition. And here we have Mr. Graham Blashill, the Sales and Marketing Director of Imperial Tobacco, led by Rodney Walker, the Chairman of the Rugby Football League. Meeting first of all Jack Robinson. Well, the Wigan Chairman seems to be leading dignitaries along the Wigan side for many, many years. Martin Dermott, the Great Britain hooker. Rob Smythe, a youngster breaking into the Wigan panel. And the man instantly recognised, Martin O'Fire, the league's leading try scorer. Scott Quinnell from Clonettley had a massive impact on the game this season. Neil Cowie coming in for the injured Kelvin Skerritt, and Martin Hall, again the Welsh hooker. Chris Redlinski, one of the many lads from the Wigan academy side. Another one alongside him, Simon Horton. No youngster, a powerhouse, Fainga Tawingamala, and his wingman, Jason Robinson. Terry O'Connor, the lad who missed out with injury last season. Henry Paul with one of the nose clips on his nose there, supposed to aid the breathing. And Sean Edwards, well, I don't think he needs any aid. As Mr. Blashill goes across there, accompanied also by Councillor Sims, meets Eric Ashton, former Wigan captain, Saints chairman, and the grandson of Eric, little Greg Smith. Bobby Goulding, Steve Prescott, and Joey Hayes been in outstanding form since the youngster game. Scott Gibbs, the Welshman, £500,000 worth. Paul Newlove, Carl Hammond from Western Samoa, Apollo Perolini, and a local lad from St Helens, Kieran Cunningham. A lot depends on this St Helens pack. Simon Booth from Lee, and Dean Busby, recent signing from Hull, Andy Northey, and Via Matautia from Western Samoa. Very cosmopolitan side, St Helens. Russell Smith and reserve referee there, Stuart Cummings. Mr. Blashill just welcomes the touch judges and the in-goal judges. Councillor Sims there as well. Coach Eric Hughes gambles with almost £1 million worth of talent in world record signing Paul Newlove and Great Britain stars Anthony Sullivan and Chris Joynt. All passed fitness test this morning, but the question is, will they last the pace? No worries in the Wigan camp, especially when coach Graham West has firepower like Connolly, Robinson and O'Fire racing down the flanks. 62 tries from that trio this season.
Number 3, Scott Gibbs.
And we mustn't forget, only 2 substitutes in the Regal trophy. I'm sure they'll play a big part.
6, Carl Hammond. 7, Bobby Goulding.
And we've had a little argument here in the commentary box. Steve, you fancy Wigan to win?
I just think Wigan, they're a big game team. Sean Edwards, he's got a lot of experience. He'll drive them hard all the time, Wigan. I just think that even though it'll be a close game, Wigan soon to have the edge in finals.
And Terry, a St Helens man.
Well, I just think today's going to be an absolute pulsating encounter, and the St Helens side, led by Goulding, are in fine form. The pack of forwards are rampaging through the league packs these days, and I think it'll be a fantastic clash.
Kieran Cunningham there, just having a word with Goulding, and a lot of responsibility on this St Helens scrum half, especially as Eric Hughes said, in the opening 20 minutes. That's when Wigan tend to blast aside. That's when they tend to try to take the game by storm. And a nervous Russell Smith, referee of the year last season, and his first Regal Trophy final. 32 years of age, later this month, from the Castleford Referees Society. St Helens just having a last word. They've come so near in recent seasons to toppling Wigan. They know how difficult it is. Wigan, 7 times winners of this Regal Trophy. St Helens just once. And that's the man who's inspired them in their wins. Sean Edwards, the skipper, the man at the heart of all the operations. Fainga Tawingamala. And Edwards and Goulding. Goulding, the inspiration behind St Helens since his arrival 18 months ago. And Edwards celebrating his 8th Regal Trophy final. And little Greg Smith just tossing the coin. And he looks to have been given a ball as a memento. And is he going to get the coin? Yes, he is. So, all underway for the match which I think the whole of rugby league has been waiting for. The pitch very firm, quite hard in fact when I walked upon it this morning. The rain that was forecast hasn't arrived here in Huddersfield. And I don't think whether it was rain, hail or snow, it would deter the spectators. Tremendous atmosphere, Terry.
Yeah, first class, the stadium. The whole occasion befits this fantastic match which is about to start, and It's a thrill to be here, and I'm sure we're in for a great afternoon of rugby league.
Wigan kick off to St Helens in the blue and white stripes. Not St Helens' traditional colours, but they were the colour when they first kicked off professionally in 1895. And Wigan, of course, in the cherry and white hoops. Again, the traditional colours. St Helens in possession, and I think, Steve, St Helens will want to hold this ball for this set of 6 and be patient.
That's the big key to St Helens today. Be patient. They've not been able to try to win off every play. They need to settle down. Good sets of 6, good kick downfield, and a good chase.
Friendly boos from the St Helens crowd for Gary Connolly, of course, a former Saints player. Martin afire, well tackled there by Kieran Cunningham. Jason Robinson trying to escape, weaving, dodging around, as he always does. Terry O'Connor. But again, another good tackle, this time from Cunningham. Neil Cowie. To Sean Edwards on the 5th tackle. Swirling in the wind, but well taken by Prescott. Running into trouble though, Terry.
Yes, the Wigan pack team particularly fired up, and they know they have to do the tackling in this first 20 minutes or so.
Apollo Perolini been in outstanding form for St Helens this past 3 or 4 weeks. Kieran Cunningham spotting a gap from the acting half-back position. But a good tackle by Radlinski. But Mr Smith waving offside. Playing advantage initially.
You see there, St Helens is a quick play the ball. Kieran Cunningham shot off from dummy half. The tackles are still on the ground, and Wigan were offside.
St Helens then driving in. And not playing the ball correctly, and also back chat.
I think Picker Vance is a bit unlucky there because he did attempt to play the ball backwards, but just hit the bottom of his foot and went forward. He may have been a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, I feel he did correct the play the ball at the second attempt.
Scott Quinnell leading the charge. Hall now taking a leap out of Cunningham's move, coming from the acting half-back position. And as usual, Richard Duckingfield down there on the bench. Any news, Richard?
Yes, well, as you mentioned, it is a swirling wind here inside the ground. It's in favour of St Helens at the moment. There's been a moderate amount of rain in Huddersfield over the last 24 hours, but the pitch is in absolutely perfect condition for rugby league.
Hall. This time with Robinson. Again, St Helens have got to pick this wingman up. He likes to come inside. He prizes open a gap. Edwards out wide. Quinnell again. A little chip kick. Too strong, too hard, but well intended, Terry.
Yeah, Scott Quinnell been in fine form in recent weeks, and we just saw his inventive play there with a grubber kick, stepped inside, but a little too strong.
St Helens were lucky there. On their left-hand side, they were short in the defensive line there. Wigan had 3-on-2, and it was just lucky that St Helens were lucky Wigan never run that side.
Chris Joints. Again, one of the players who has come back in from injury. Past fit, but the question is he 80 minutes fit? Another one there, Paul Newlove. £500,000 worth of talent. Oh, tremendous run there from Newlove. That's why Eric Hughes has gambled. Goulding running at the heart of this Wigan defence. Hammond. Simon Booth. Booth, the half break, superb pass to Perolini. Perolini still driving in. Just look at the strength of this powerful Western Samoan. St Helens, 10 metres then, from the Wigan line. A slip by Prescott. Again, the kick, a little too hard, Steve.
Yeah, it's a little bit too hard there, but that was good attack from St Helens, and you'll find that St Helens will attack their left-hand side most of the time. with Joint on that side and New Love.
Back in play there again with O'Connor. The tap from the 20-metre line. Mick Cassidy. Simon Horton at loose forward in for Andy Farrell, but one of the successes of this Wigan side this season. Edwards looking to launch Twingamala, but Perolini picked him up. Sean Edwards will not want to be running into him so very often, Terry.
No, Sean Edwards is a past master at keeping away from those crunching tackles that Perolini just put in, and it's usually late in the game before anyone gets to him, but he'll be organising things for Wigan.
Hall with the high kick. Oh, two of them are going for it. Well taken by Sullivan, but that was a good chase. Prescott spotting a gap out wide. Well looked after by Cassidy. Sullivan. Again, one of the injured St Helens players, been troubled with a calf injury. Anthony Sullivan. Becca Vance. Quite a lot of pace in this St Helens pack, Steve. Simon Boo, the former three-quarter, Becca Vance, a former wing.
Yeah, they're certainly adapted well to the forwards, and they're both big men. So it's good. That's what you need now in rugby league. Up in the forwards, a big, strong, fast man.
Robinson Terry is always a dangerous customer, isn't he?
Yes, he seems to impress us week in, week out, Ray, and he started this game in fine form. We saw him last week come up with a couple of great tries against Leeds, and to be honest, he started this game in very powerful fashion.
Wigan coach Graham West using both wings, coming into the middle. Neil Cowie, member of the Wales World Cup front row. Cowie and Hall, they received the Team of the Year award down in Wales this week. Oh, forward pass. Was obviously a move worked out in training, but the forward, Cassidy, just overrunning the pass.
Yeah, we see the maestro Edwards, just a line ball, splendid running from Cassidy, but that's a forward pass, but a nice gap for Edwards to rise open there, Steve.
Yeah, you'll find that the play before, Wigan were attacking St Helens' left-hand side. On that side, they have Anthony Sullivan, Paul Newlove and Chris Joint. All them players have been out with injury, so they may be testing them out to see if there is any weakness in fitness.
Wigan, a wonderful history in this Regal Trophy tournament. Beaten Leeds, Hull KR, Warrington twice, Widnes, Halifax and Bradford in previous finals. Gives you an indication of the size of the task in front of St Helens. Chris Joints and Bobby Goulding retrieving the ball there. Not the best of the play the balls, but Goulding putting that long low kick in, keeping the pressure down here on Wigan.
You'll have a look here. It's picked up off the ground. Bobby Goulding still got plenty of time. So the best way here is put the ball into touch, scrum it down. Wigan have to run it out from their own 10-metre line.
I think, Terry, this is the position that Eddie Hughes would want, Saints coach would want to play this game, isn't it? In this opening 20 minutes.
Well, it's been nip and tuck from both sides, Ray. Strong tackling, simple, clear, effective attack from both sides, and you know there's nothing much in the weights of these two packs, such that it's a game of strategy with the kicking game to the fore.
Simon Horton trying to use some of the extra space there on the blind side. Scrums now form 20 metres in. Not 10 metres as last season. Terry O'Connor, former Salford prop. Horton's lost the ball, picked up by Busby. To Booth, he's lost it. Well, talk of a high tackle there. The crowd on this side didn't like the intervention there by O'Fire, but play on, says referee Russell Smith. He looked to his touch judge for guidance. Nothing forthcoming. We continue with the game. Neil Cowie driving in and making a gap. He's got Martin Hall. But a forward pass, says the referee. Well, Sean Edwards shakes his head. I think it's a debatable one.
Here we see Cowie just on the line there, level pass, and that's judged by Russell Smith to be forward.
It looked good from the commentary box. It looked like the ball went backwards. Just a little bit earlier on there with the two lost balls from both teams. The referee let advantage go, and it was good refereeing by letting the game flow.
Prescott. Carl Hammond. Again, both teams trying to make play from this acting half-back position. Dean Busby. 10 minutes gone. Still St Helens 0. Wigan 0. Goulding, well looked after by Shaun Edwards. Great personal rivalry between those two. Paul Newlove again. £500,000 world record payment for that lad. Oh, well taken by Sullivan. But offside. Bobby Goulding doesn't like that. Anthony Sullivan offside. He must not encroach within 10 metres on the kicker. Bobby Goulding as captain, losing his head, Terry.
Yes, he put the kick up here, and it looked like Sullivan was marginally offside, but Goulding just lost his temper a little bit and expressed an opinion which Mr. Smith didn't agree with.
Edwards to Quinnell. That was a high tackle. Carl Hammond being penalised there.
You'll have a look here. Terry O'Connor runs in hard. Scott Quinnell runs in hard, and the tackle was high from Hammond there. Penalty to Wigan. Nerves have been at a premium in the open 10 minutes. Wigan have had the ball 7 times and made 3 errors. St Helens have had it 8 times and made 2 errors.
Wigan on the attack. Oh, Shaun Edwards makes room there for Neil Cowie. Cowie with a chance of a try. Martin Hall was near him. Superb tackle. Hall trying to go for the line himself, but Simon Booth did well there. He just grabbed the leg. Wigan then, the first opportunity. Quinnell driving over that line. He's held over, but he's on his back. Good defence there from St Helens, and especially from that fullback there, Steve Prescott. He put his body on the line. He got underneath the 17-stone Quinnell, and he just held him up.
Yeah, it all started with a splendid break from Shaun Edwards, resulting in this opportunity for Scott Quinnell, man in form, but the Saints' defence hold firm.
He done well, Prescott, there, because when Edwards made the break, he offloaded to Cowie. Cowie only had Prescott to beat, and Prescott was up to the task. It was a fine effort to stop Cowie.
Wigan still on the attack. To Henry Paul. A good one out there to Radlinski. The Fire loses it. Exasperation there on Martin O'Fire's face, but relief in the St Helens camp. And St Helens looking a little disorganised here.
Yeah, here we see O'Fire just coming inside from Radlinski, and Wigan will be disappointed because that was early in the tackle count when they just got St Helens back in their own 22.
Well, St Helens should have 1 or 2 forwards bringing the ball away, not backs. Here's one, Perolini. But the tackling is very fierce in this final. Peckavance. To Goulding. Well harassed by Martin Hall. Fire. Back to Connolly. A good line of defenders there from St Helens. Kieran Cunningham got up very well then.
It's important that the St Helens team keep their line intact, because if in broken play, as we pretty well know, Wigan are absolutely outstanding.
Very quick there, the ball's on both sides. Well taken there by Quinnell. Oh, and Quinnell shrugs up a couple, tries to get it back to a fire. Edwards picks it up to 6 tackles. Simon Horton. Hall. Cassidy. These Wigan forwards now driving in, making inroads into the St Helens defence. To Ingamala, here's one man with power over, and to Ingamala from the acting half-back position, powers his way over. He spotted that gap to the right. He used his pace to initially launch himself, and then the sheer power of the Western Samoan. There's no stopping a tank like that. Inga to Ingamala, his 19th of the season, and the first for Wigan.
You'll have a look there. It's a great try by Twigamala, but if you have a look closely, Martin the Fire is standing in an offside position there.
But Twigamala, fresh as the daisy, the first time he's had the ball, splendid try.
This is all power. He's a powerhouse, Twigamala. Look at the look on his face, true determination. He said, I can see the line there, I'm going to score the try, and he does.
Yes, certainly got the power as Twigamala, when you think there was something like 32 stone hanging on him as he went over that line. An uncompromising character. And the goal kick, the attempted conversion for Henry Paul. Has kicked well this season in the absence of the injured Andy Farrell and the departure of Fanabotica. Henry Paul then with the conversion attempt. It's accurate. 2 further points to Wigan. And Wigan 6 points to 0 in the lead.
The Samoan powerhouse just picks this ball up here and he just drives those big legs of his through the heart of the Saints defence for what is a splendid try from Twigamala.
And of course the side now that has scored in Rugby League kicks off. To Hammond. And Scott Gibbs. Oh, strong, forceful run by the former Swansea Rugby Union star.
The Wigan side of injury, Kelvin. The signs were just there before that try that Wigan were getting on top, weren't they?
That's right. I mean, longer the game went without a score, I felt, you know, it'd be better for Wigan. And subsequently, Ingle's gone over for a good try.
Discipline now, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, just, you know, maintain a good defence and hope for another opportunity.
Thanks, Kelvin. Thanks a lot, mate.
Kelvin Skerritt, the Great Britain and Wales prop forward there. He's out at the moment with an injured back. O'Neill. Goulding spotted that well on the blind side. Nice little chip kick there. Robinson's got it covered. And again, the kick a little too strong. No one has really got their kicking boots on yet, Terry, have they?
No, it's been a little bit too much power on both sides in the kicking department. This one here from Goulding, just a yard over the dead ball line there.
You want to get Wigan caught in their in-goal area. You don't want to give them the chance of having a 22-metre tap, giving them that extra yardage.
Ideally, Steve, you need that ball just to be bouncing and bobbling before the try line, don't you? As Robinson's going back for it.
Exactly right. It gives you the 2 chances for your opportunity for your chasers to score a try, and also if you don't.
Just picking up on the territory there, we see that Wigan have shaded this first quarter or so, 59% to 41. That reflects what we've been seeing in the action. Wigan have marginally had the best of this first 20 minutes or so.
And it's Sean Edwards who's directing operations. Good run there by the Wigan captain. He's bringing the forwards into the middle, and then Wigan hoping to push it out wide here now. Martin Hall. The kick directed to touch. That'll be ball back, and the turnover to St Helens. So a mistake there by the Wigan hooker.
You see here Martin Hall just a little bit too much power, only about a foot in it, but St Helens get the turnover. As we were saying before about the in-goal area, the chasers could get the opportunity to score a try, and if it's not, if you can catch the opposition in their in-goal area, you get the football back with a goal line dropout.
Scott Quinnell adjudged a high tackle coming in at the back over the top.
Here we see Quinnell just over the top. 2 big fellas clashing there. Quinnell just felt he needed to let his presence felt on his counterpart, an opposite number, Chris Joint.
Puts St Helens on the attack. Ian Pickavance, now a prop forward, once a former wing with Swinton. Hammond launching Dean Busby. Oh, good step off his right foot there, beat Quinnell. St Helens looking for points here to draw level. Goulding looks for support, finds Simon Booth. 6-7 metres now from that Wigan line. Kieran Cunningham. Hammond can't shrug off Sean Edwards. Edwards clinging to him like a limpet there. But Saints moving nearer. Goulding to Pickavance. Good tackle by Cassidy. Still Saints on the attack, Paul Newlove. Driving in, can't get in, back to Goulding. Well, that was cleverly done, he put the ball between his legs. Still St Helens in possession. Anthony Sullivan, he's got support out wide here. Prescott to Scott Gibbs. Back inside again, Prescott's on the outside here. He's got support. Oh, superb try for Joey Hayes. St Helens in at the corner. That ball, first of all, went once to the left, back to the right, and all credit to the Saints. They kept the ball moving. They wouldn't say die, and Joey Hayes was in there for his 18th of the season.
This was St Helens at their best. A challenge down the left-hand side there. Goulding ends up with this ball off Newlove. Newlove keeps it alive in tremendous fashion. Sensational play this from St Helens. Through the legs from Goulding. What improvisation. The players educated to keep the ball alive. Sullivan comes in field, tries his luck, looks outside, Prescott's there. And then after Gibbs, he just tidies things up, brings the ball in field, and it's that man Prescott to the man in form, Hayes, and he just powers through despite attention from Gary Connolly.
You'll have a look here. Gary Connolly injures himself here. Now Prescott, ball in two hands, clever play, offloads to Joey Hayes, scores a try, and Gary Connolly is not too well down there. I think he's got attention having to him there, and he hurt himself in the tackle.
Bobby Goulding then, the top of the goal-kicking charts with 126 this season. Looking to level the scores with this one from the touchline. It's a good kick, but it just falls short. Just dipping underneath the crossbar. But St Helens replying to Wigan's opening salvo and replying in dramatic and sensational fashion. Just 2 points the difference now between the two teams.
This was an absolutely outstanding move. The final movement we see here, Joey Hayes, man in form, low profile, he was going to score that try.
You notice number 5 was alongside Joey Hayes there. Anthony Sutherland's come from the left-hand wing to be in support there.
Adam Foggett is out of the St Helens side with knee ligament trouble. Adam, I mean, that was just right, just what the doctor ordered at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a move we've been working on all week, Richard. You know, I mean, no, it was a good try. They kept the ball moving, and it paid off in the end. So it's just what we need at this stage of the game.
Because you just can't let Wigan get too far in front.
No, once they get
looking to launch Tringham again. He looks to be the danger.
Full go. I mean, like you say, you can't let them get too far in front. If they get a couple of tries in front, your heads go a bit. And
Martin Afire going for the corner. Back it, intercepted by Anthony Sullivan. Now then, Sullivan cuts inside. Simon Booth. And this game really has everything. The ball is flying around like a hot potato. Still St Helens keep going. Kieran Cunningham. Wigan moving up very, very quickly to cut down this St Helens half-back problem. And Kieran Cunningham here. Joint to Goulding. Dean Busby. He's got Perolini alongside him. Good tackle by Scott Quinnell. Bobby Goulding again on the 5th tackle. Oh, nice little chip kick. Prescott's racing for it. Tremendous cover there from Martin Hall. That was class support play from Hall there.
It was good play there. He got back all right now, Hall. It's great defence here from St Helens also. Great defence. St Helens, they've had the best of this first 20-odd minutes. Out of 13 sets of tackles, they've completed 11, where Wigan have had it for 13 times and only completed 8.
Prescott again. Pick Evans again doing very, very well in keeping Wigan behind that line, in that in-goal area, causing the dropout.
Great chase from Prescott here. He's very determined to haul Gary Connolly over his own line, and with the aid of Sullivan, he achieved it.
Prescott picks up the ball to Simon Booth. Booth, the former centre with you at Lee, Steve, at one time.
Yeah, he was a centre, Simon, a hard-working centre. We did play him in the back row a few times because he's a big lad with plenty of pace.
Chris Joints. And Saints still pressing on with Goulding again, looking to launch one of the inside men. Scott Gibbs this time. Short, squat, powerful Welshman, takes some holding, but still the Wigan defence holding. Goulding again to Cunningham, slip back inside to Goulding. Goulding's bobbing, weaving in, he's got men outside. Paul Newland can't quite get over. Tremendous battle between Twingham Marlon and Newland. Knock on. I think Chris Joint actually got in the way of Bobby Goulding there.
Yeah, we just saw a little bit of a mistake here. Goulding put the ball on the ground, and Joint again trying to tidy the situation up, but to no avail.
Here Mataltia coming on for Simon Booth, and Saints pick the ball up. Well, it's for Pickavan. Ian Pickavan's going off. Such is the drama here. Saints driving in. Radlinski tackling for dear life. And there is Ian Pickavans. Busby. Saints spreading it out wide now. Hammond to Perolini, spots the gap. Chris Joint just inches short. This is magnificent tackling from Wigan. Twingham Marlon there, and O'Connor again. Goulding, he's got two men outside him. He's got Paul Newland, and Paul Newland is through the gap out wide on the outside. Tremendous pressure from St Helens, finally pays off, and the £500,000 man, Paul Newland, his 13th touchdown of the season, and none, I think, more important.
That man Goulding teasing the Wigan defence, and the first opportunity to unleash new love, and he just comes on the ball like a runaway train. Great try.
But wasn't this a precision pass?
Bobby Goulding at his best. Paul Newlove into the hole, runs to the gap there. It was a good effort. You always say the team that makes the least mistakes will win the game. After 15 sets of 6 tackles each, Wigan have made 7 errors, St Helens only 3.
St Helens supporters delighted, but as teams well know, 80 minutes is a long time to be facing Wigan. I'm sure there will be many witness fans who were at Norton Park that day when Wigan fought back in extra time and confounded the Chemics. But it's St Helens in the lead here. Bobby Goulding, his second attempt from the touchline, just veering to the outside of the post, and no goal. But St Helens in the lead for the first time, 8 points to 6.
Goulding, man in form here on the reverse angle, just teases the Wigan defence, and Newlove, the poacher, he can spot a gap if there is one, and he just storms through.
Paul Newlove, £500,000 he cost. It makes you think that St Helens' first world record signing was £4,000, Terry, in 1948. Stan McCormick, what a difference these days.
Yeah, the game's come on a little bit since your time, Ray, I must say.
Thank you, Terry. Terry O'Connor. To Cassidy. Wigan, Steve, have been met with a pretty stiff resistance in the middle. You think it's time they started moving the ball out to the flanks?
They've used their forwards. They've tried to get their forwards going up the middle to soften up the defence of St Helens. It hasn't worked. I think it is time for them to start getting the ball out to their outside men, the men with pace.
Just some mild concern on the Wigan bench about Gary Connolly. Gary Connolly, when he tried to tackle Joey Hayes for that first St Helens try, he took a blow in the ribs and is feeling some pain there. Also about Martin of Fire, who's aggravated slightly a knee injury that he's been carrying. And the St Helens substitution, Matautia, came on. That was purely tactical.
Although there are only 2 substitutes, you can make 4 interchanges in this match. And here is Metaltia. Not the best of passes to Joey Hayes. Metaltia there, the number 15, I think he's an impact player, isn't he? He's brought on to try to create a few gaps.
He certainly is. He didn't sort of succeed on this occasion, I must say, but he is a powerful player, as we saw in the World Cup there in October, and he will be looking to try and tear some holes in this Wigan defence.
Handling errors, rather unusual. 6 for Wigan already. That shows something about St Helens moving in quickly in defence.
Yeah, St Helens have defended very good, and they keep moving up, putting on pressure on Wigan. But Wigan at the moment, in attack, when they are getting it wide, they're not standing deep enough. They're standing too flat, and St Helens are able to get up on them very quickly.
But one can never relax against the Regal Trophy holders. Here they are now in St Helens' 20-metre area. Nice slip back there by Neil Cowie. Picked up by Simon Horton, but good tackling again from St Helens. Perolini and Busby. Sean Edwards looking to launch Gary Connolly there. Can't quite get the pass. Mr Smith getting Saints the full 10 metres back to Henry Paul. No way to go. Back again. Paul, Edwards. Still that ball keeps going. Sean Edwards loses it. Back to Connolly. On the 5th tackle. Sean Edwards again. That's a kick for Radlinski. Picked up superbly there by Saints out wide. Simon Booth did well there. Joey Hayes. Good run by Hayes. Plenty of confidence. Oh, he's lost the ball. Well, a misunderstanding between the 2 wingmen there. Perhaps a little inexperience on Hayes' part. He probably should have held it, shouldn't he?
He most certainly should have, Ray, and Anthony Sullivan was reasonably disappointed, I'd say, with this pass. With Twiggamala adjacent, you don't do passes like that.
And it gives Wigan another 6 tackles. Radlinski looking for the switch inside, decides to go himself. Gary Connolly. Wigan may be worried about any injuries, but he's a pretty resilient character. Quinnell driving that 17-stone frame there over the line. Couple of metres short. Henry Paul, well spotted by Carl Hammond. But St Helens moving in again quickly. And Simon Booth getting through an awful amount of tackling. Edwards again. Always thinking. Switch to the blind. Terry O'Connor gets the ball away. Joey Hayes is in there. One of the advantages of being about 5'6" is that you can get down to balls like that. Scott Gibbs.
It's interesting, it was Joey Hayes that gave the pass, and he was the guy who recovered possession for Saints. Bit of irony there.
Anthony Sullivan doing well to come in from the wing there. A little spurt of speed. Cunningham. Well held. And a penalty. Penalty against Wigan. Holding down in the tackle. Simon Horton, the culprit.
You'll have a look here. Horton's on top. Cassidy's underneath. That's a long time. That's far too long. They're not getting off him. It's a penalty to St Helens.
Spot of bother there between Neil Cowie and Metaltia. More like handbags at 5 paces, I think. Nothing really serious.
We see here that Neil Cowie just comes a little bit high and rips Metaltia's hat. He disagrees with that situation. Elbow coming in from Metaltia. Cowie wouldn't be pleased with that neither.
Yeah, Wigan's got the penalty there. He had the forearm up, trying to push Edwards off, and conceded the penalty. That's the second time St Helens have conceded the penalty when they had the football.
And Via Metaltia is the one who is penalised, really, for backjump.
Ill-disciplined when in possession rates. It's a criminal offence in the rules of the game, and it's given Wigan the initiative again.
Neil Cowie. And immediately he picks out Perolini and Matautia to run out.
Ian Pickavant's taking a breather on the St Helens bench. Ian, this is living up to the billing all the time, isn't it?
Well, yeah, there's two good sides out there, and they both want to get their hands on the cup. So it's the way it's going at the moment. It's a hard game.
Defence is going to be crucial for St Helens now.
Well, it is in any game, isn't it? Defence always gets you the cups and wins you the cup in the end.
Thanks, Ian.
Defence needed here from St Helens. Twingamala coming in alongside Edwards, looking for the action. But St Helens, Kieran Cunningham there, picking up Edwards very, very well. Robinson to Henry Paul, shoot that beautifully with one hand. As did Prescott there in the in-goal area.
They seem to be quite lost in attack at the moment. Wigan are going up the middle there. Sean Edwards has got no runners. The amount of times he's been tackled today is probably more than the whole season.
St Helens, Terry, using the two wings, Hayes and Sullivan, to good effect in midfield.
Well, especially at this stage of the half, Ray, they're infield, they've got low centre of gravity, they're very quick, and they're moving these forwards around, tiring them out perhaps for later, and it's a good tactic, well deployed.
Neil Cowie looking after Paul Newlove there. Ian Busby. Good drive. Bobby Goulding, no way through on the left. And again, a kick a little too high, a little too strong. Two coaches there, Eric Hughes and Graham West, both seen action in these Regal Trophy finals. They know how tense it can be on that pitch. As if it's not tense enough in the stand for the pair of them.
Just at the moment, probably Eric Hughes would be a little bit more happier than Graham West. His team has had the ball 20 times, completed 14 sets. On the other hand, Graham West's team has had it 19 times and only completed 11.
Well, it's Wigan in possession now, and a fire being well looked after there by Perolini. To Wingamala. Sean Edwards, good hitch kick there with Twingamala. He's got Horton on this side, but again Booth comes in and puts him down. Edwards again at the first receiver. That's a testing kick for Prescott. Henry Paul's there, but Prescott took it superbly. It's certainly been a very, very good half by this St Helens fullback.
It certainly has, and this one was absolutely first class. He just left the ground, eye on the ball, elbows together, and he just took it very, very easily.
And Joey Hayes racing in field. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this first half. St Helens in the lead, 8 points to 6. Sullivan. Good relieving run there by Sullivan.
Yeah, and we noted that about 20 minutes into the game, Wigan had the possession and territory. See how the pendulum has shifted now, and St Helens, they hold the hedge.
Carl Hammond. Forcing Robinson back. Oh, but Robinson makes good ground there. It's Jason Robinson cutting through. Good tackle there by Goulding. Goulding in the right position in the sweeper role. O'Connor. Well held by Newlove. Edwards. Using Twingamala a lot in midfield. Henry Paul, he had Gary Connolly outside him. Twingamala again. Oh, beautiful flick inside. Radlinski. Cowie. This is the time when Wigan are often at the most dangerous. Just before half-time, they tend to strike for a try. St Helens desperate to hold out here. One tackle remaining in this sequence. Oh, there's ice on that ball. Prescott's underneath it. He's lost it. He's bouncing, bobbling about. It's still Wigan in possession. Back to another 6 tackles. The Wigan roar getting behind the holders now. Henry Paul. St Helens battling for their lives here. Quinnell. Good charging burst there by Quinnell. Martin of Fire, he's got the pace. Has he got the strength to get over? No, he hasn't. But a good attempt there by O'Fire. Good tackle by Hammond. Out to Cowie. Into stoppage time. St Helens defence battling here. Bobby Goulding can't quite pin Henry Paul down. He gets that ball away to O'Fire. O'Fire making the strike. Gary Connolly races out wide. Newell's with him to Ingamala. Wigan piling everything into this attack, and still the St Helens defence holds. On the fifth tackle, one tackle remaining. Connolly, Edwards, short pass to Hall. Back to Connolly. Oh, beautiful pass to Edwards. Back to Cowie. Is there any end to the talent in this side? Fire, and that's a knock-on. Henry Paul annoyed with himself, but tremendous all-out attack from Wigan. And what about that defence from St Helens?
The defence was absolutely superb, Ray, but what about this attack from Wigan? Perhaps a leaf out of St Helens' book. They were flicking the ball around the back, inside passes, outside, but it all came to no avail.
There is the half-time hooter, a tremendous 40 minutes. Henry Paul apologising to Martin O'Fire there for knocking on that ball. But what a first half. St Helens 8, Wigan 6, and I'm sure those players, well, they've not played a 40 minutes like that for a long, long time. Scott Quinnell, hands on hips, breathing deeply. And I think one or two of those fans will be breathing deeply as well. They've certainly made for the atmosphere here at the McAlpine Stadium. 16 minutes apiece in possession, but it's St Helens who've come up with the points.
The story with Steve Sims, Terry Flanagan and Ray French.
St Helens leading by 2 tries to 1, and it was that Joey Hayes try in the 20th minute which showed just how difficult it is to break down the Wigan defence, and highlighting St Helens' amazing handling skills.
Who's the St Helens coach? Nothing in it really, Eric. What was your message? More of the same?
Well, at this moment in time, we're in a football game, and at this moment in time, they've done okay, but we've achieved nothing. We've come here to win, and if we play well for 40 minutes, we won't be remembered. We've got to. Everyone says you play for 80 minutes against Wigan, and you don't switch off for 1 minute, and that's true. In fact, you don't switch off for 5 seconds against Wigan, you get caught. At this moment in time, we've done okay. We've achieved nothing.
If it was a gamble playing Paul Newlove, it's paid off so far.
There was no gamble. It was fair.
Thanks, Eric.
Still a very nervous Eric Hughes there, 6-time Regal Trophy finalist himself, 2 winners' medals. I think he'd trade a few for one here for his team this afternoon. Wigan, with plenty to do, but we know, Terry, they can do plenty, can't they?
They certainly can, Ray. They've got an awesome record in this competition, and to be honest, it's still a big mountain to climb here, because this game is still in the balance.
Wigan in the cherry and white hoops, trying to take the game to St Helens. Simon Horton, the teenage loose forward, burst onto the scene this season. John Edwards. Well, he's tested Prescott 2 or 3 times this afternoon. I think this was part of Wigan's game plan to test this youngster, but he's up to it, Steve.
He's had a great game so far, only making 1 error, Steve Prescott. He's not so tall, and coaches probably think he can't take the high ball, but today he's certainly shown everybody what strength he has got in that area.
Chris Joynes. Paul Newell perhaps growing in confidence here now. He's had a foot injury. Offside again. Russell Smith allowing play to develop, allowing Newell there to run with the ball to the conclusion of the movement, and then giving the offside decision.
Yeah, Mick Cassidy was always offside there. He gives St Helens the advantage when Newell couldn't make any further ground. He penalised Wigan.
Problems though with Gary Connolly. Blood streaming from his nose. That will be a blood bin. The Wigan doctor will have to stop that blood. is the Wigan doctor, Dr. Zaman. I'm sure he'll be working very quickly on Gary Connolly. And Rob Spide coming on.
So Smythe will go to the wing, Jason Robinson to fullback.
Perolini trying to drive a wedge down the left-hand side here to suck the Wigan forwards across. Oh, good dummy by Goulding, and it almost paid off. But that was a good tackle by O'Connor. He spotted what Goulding was doing. Hammond. Can't get away from Horton there, but still the pressure on the Wigan. Kieran Cunningham. He saw a gap, but it was very quickly closed. Scott Gibbs to Goulding again. Busby. That was a forward pass. Dean Busby overrunning Bobby Goulding.
You'll have a look here. Bobby Goulding throws the pass. Now Busby just come a little bit too early because he was in a hole there. If he had timed his run a little bit better, I'm sure he would have nearly scored a try.
Gary Connolly's gone straight off into the treatment room with the Wigan doctor, Dr. Zaman. It looks as though he'll need stitches in quite a nasty mouth wound.
O'Connor. St Helens putting a good clamp on Wigan down here, forcing Sean Edwards to kick continuously.
Yes, they've tackled very well, St Helens, and they've started this second half like they finished the first in tenacious fashion.
Back again with Edwards, trying to launch these forwards, but the Wigan forwards, Steve, running from flat at the moment, perhaps lacking those two men there, Skerrett and Farrell.
They may well do it. What they're not doing is they're not hitting the ball on the advantage line. They're not making yards up the middle to get St Helens on the back foot. They're making it easy for St Helens.
Prescott. He's certainly relishing the game this afternoon, Steve Prescott. I don't think I've seen him, as effective as this for some weeks.
That's right, he crashed into the game a couple of seasons ago at a very young age, and he's now maturing to be one of the best fullbacks around, and on today's performance, knocking on the international door, I would say.
But again, good tackling from Wigan. They've proved over the years, this Wigan side, they can absorb tackling, they can absorb the pressure, then all of a sudden they have such class in their ranks, they can come back and strike. No side can ever be too confident until that whistle has gone. Jason Robinson in the full-back position, takes it beautifully. You would think he played there every day.
Showed a lot of courage here, Jason Robinson. Never took his eyes off the ball and come up with a good take.
Fire, that was a good pass inside to Henry Paul. But lack of support there for Henry Paul. Good cover again from Simon Boone. Robinson coming in from the full-back position.
And St Helens substitute Andy Northey is being told to warm up on the St Helens bench. It looks as though there may be an injury to Anthony Sullivan. Andy Northey being told to warm up.
Cowie trying to make a gap down this near side here. Paul to Edwards, he's got Scott Quinnell. Scott Quinnell racing for that line. Bobby Goulding there in a good sweeper roll again. This is Wigan now, moving back, looking dangerous. Jason Robinson, tasty little chip kick there. Well picked up by Gibbs. He's lost the ball. Oh, and it's a try for Chris Radlinski. Oh, an error by the St Helens defence. They lose the ball, and Chris Radlinski, the youngster, goes over underneath the post. I only just said you can never relax against this team.
Jason Robinson steams onto the football. A great kick behind the line. Scott Gibbs takes it under pressure now. He can't control the ball. He loses the football. A good try by Radlinski.
After a splendid little kick here from Robinson, Gibbs does very well to collect it, but I think he tried a criminal error in trying to just put the ball on the line, and he just lost control, and Radlinski can't believe his luck to get the 4 points.
I just wonder for a split second, did Scott Gibbs think he was back in rugby union? That in actual fact he was putting the ball dead, as it were, Steve?
Well, I think he could have done, but He's trying to make the ball dead, obviously, so that a goal line dropout, but he's dropped the ball in the process of putting it down in front of the line. He's got to put it down on his side of the goal line, not the other side.
Well, whatever, it's a mistake, and Wigan pounce on mistakes like that. And a further 2 points, courtesy of the Kiwi international stand-up, Henry Paul. And that takes Wigan out, back in the lead, 12 points to 8.
We'll have a look here. Jason Robinson, great chase on his own kick. Now Scott Gibbs, he takes it well there. Now he's getting forced behind the in-goal area. Well, that's not so bad. He's still got possession. That's where, one-handed, he tries to ground the ball, loses it. Chris Redlinski right on the spot. Can't believe his luck. Straight under the post for a 6-pointer.
But in a sense, Terry, he doesn't need to ground the ball in rugby league, does he? Once he's tackled behind the line, then...
That's right, Ray. It would have been a dropout there, it would have been tight, it would have been clean. St Helens would have had time to compose themselves, but that's the difference in these big league games. One error can cost you dearly.
Anthony Sullivan then, retiring from the battle. Hammond. To Joint, but that's the knock-on. And suddenly, the pressure on St Helens now, as Wigan get a new lease of life from that try.
Here we see the Saints attack a little bit flat and static, and Chris Joint there, not taking the ball up at any pace at all, and comes up with a fumble.
Wigan back in possession behind the scrum. Jason Robinson.
Wigan assistant coach Joe Lydon. Joe, a stroke of luck in that try, but you need to go some now, don't you?
We do. We need to lift the tempo. That try was basically done on enthusiasm, and that's what we need to spread throughout the team and try and put a little bit of pressure on the St Helens team.
Thanks, Joe.
Connor just edging over that halfway line.
He ran a good line there, Terry O'Connor. He tried to get in behind the play the ball area, hit the ball on the advantage line, and got Wigan, St Helens going backwards.
Scott Quinnell making one of those powerful charging runs, and that man there, Terry O'Connor, having a good season. Henry Paul now trying to go round Bobby Goulding. Goulding doing well there to clamp the ball, but Paul still moving. And he's lost it on the 6th tackle. A turnover. And St Helens certainly have to hold this ball now for the 6th tackle, don't they?
They certainly have. They've got to make some good yardage up the middle and make some half breaks, perhaps, but then follow that with a good kick and try and get the initiative back into this half.
Cunningham, making a good break there down the blind side. Taking Cassidy and Hall there by surprise. St Helens coming back now. Goulding to Hammond. Hammond, he's got Busby outside him.
What St Helens have to be careful now. You'll see this, good pass. Busby just takes his eyes off a bit, loses the ball. St Helens have to be careful. They don't panic and don't try to play catch-up football. Handling errors, 8 to St Helens, 7 to Wigan. That's even. The game's still even. St Helens have to get their composure, not try to score off every play.
St Helens seem to think that every time they're in possession, Terry, they have to score.
That's right, it was the patience in the first half that brought the tries, and I'm sure Eric Hughes, the Saints coach, would love for a little bit of patience to come back into his side.
Martin Hall, O'Connor again, enjoying himself there at first receiver. Sean Edwards doing much to galvanise this Wigan side in the second half. Jason Robinson, but that's a good tackle by Chris Joint. But still, the Wigan danger creeping nearer to that St Helens line. Henry Paul to Wingamala. Paul again. Evades Newlove. He's got support on his outside. He's going himself. Henry Paul going for the line. And Henry Paul baffles the defence on this near side. The Wigan supporters sent into raptures by Paul. 16-8 for Wigan. And suddenly St Helens in all sorts of trouble. No one picked up the Kiwi. They gave him sufficient space to move, and he took advantage of it.
Henry Paul, some great skills here. Offloads to Twickamala. Henry Paul is still not out of the play. Sean Edwards sees it. Henry Paul's in the hole. Off a standing start, runs around Newlove. He should have made that tackle. Step off his right foot, runs around him there. Step off his right foot around Bobby Goulding and scores a great try. What great individual skills.
This guy Paul has had a magnificent tournament. He saved Wigan at the Witness early in the rounds, and this one was absolutely magnificent. The left step, he just comes in there and off his right one again, and the Saints defence just can't get him. Brilliant try from Henry Paul.
Yes, one could talk about sloppy defence there, Steve, but looking on the positive side, that was a magnificent run, wasn't it?
He's a great individual player, and probably could have beat any player in the world at that stage with that run he just made. But it's going to get down now. You'll find that Wigan's had the ball 5 times, completed 5 sets of 6 tackles. St Helens have had it 6 times and only completed 3. That tells you the story. Wigan are in front now.
Yes, certainly they'll be thinking behind the post there about those knock-ons early in the second half. But doesn't bother Henry Paul. Simple conversion. Another 2 points to the Wigan scoring machine, and 18 points to 8 now for Wigan on that scoreline, looking ominous for the Saints.
Yeah, it's what Eric Hughes said just after half-time, that it's not a 40-minute game, it's an 80-minute game, and you have to defend for that period, and Henry Paul just split the St Helens defence to pieces there.
St Bernard's a little bit forlorn.
Sick as a dog, Ray, looked like her, didn't it?
Well, they certainly need some inspiration now, do this St Helens side. Matautia pounding in. They have to take the game right down to that Wigan 20-metre line. Kieran Cunningham. This is better from St Helens now. Good, strong run there by the young hooker. And Henry Paul trying to steal the ball, but Mr. Smith adjudging offside again.
It was off. He allowed advantage go on there. When Kieran Cunningham was first tackled, he was going to blow the penalty for Wigan offside. When he busted the tackle, he let him promote himself further to see if he could score a try. When he was tackled, he brought it back. He was tackled there. He was going to blow the whistle, the referee there, changed his mind because Kieran broke the tackle. Then when his momentum was stopped, Russell Smith, good refereeing, come back to where Wigan were initially offside.
And an interesting decision here from the Saints skipper, just 55 minutes gone, electing to go for the goal, trailing 18-8. I think 1 or 2 would probably have advised him to put the ball in the corner. But Goulding knows what he's doing. Just 25 metres out. And Goulding collects the 2 points. And it's worth collecting those 2 points, Terry, because there is sufficient time, isn't there, to come back in this game.
Well, the 6 points for a converted try, Ray. Just pulling back another 2 to bring the score to Saints 10, Wigan 18. It's all to play for yet in this game.
And I think one advantage from this kick-off now, the side that has scored, you really can put Wigan on the back foot.
Yeah, if they get their defence in order, St Helens here, they can put Wigan under a hell of a lot of pressure, and they may come up with an error.
Gary Connolly back on the field after the blood bin.
And the news of Gary Connolly is that the Wigan doctor described it as a horrendous injury. He's got a very nasty tear inside the mouth. The doctors put 5 stitches inside and 5 outside, so some fancy needlework on Gary Connolly.
I said he was a resilient character. Robinson.
So, Ray, I think Gary Connolly will be having some soup tonight for his meal.
I think he will, through a straw. O'Connor not happy with that, with the push from Chris Joynt. Mr. Smith wanting a clean play of the ball.
You'll have a look here. Now Chris Joynt is there. O'Connor gets up to play it. It was only a little push, but it was enough to give Wigan a penalty.
And it's enough to put the pressure back on that St Helens line. Edwards calling all the shots in midfield here now to Quinnell. Good tackle by Cunningham around the ankles. But still, Wigan moving nearer. Edwards again. Switch to Cassidy. Gets that ball to Tuigamala. Here's one man they can't let burst free. And they don't. Horton having a go himself. Crunching tackle there from Metaltian. Stopped him in his tracks. Ball. St Helens will clamp that ball. They do. One tackle remaining in this sequence. Perhaps a little grubber kick from Edwards. No. A short ball. Quinnell did well to get that ball out. Cowie's pushed into touch, but that was a clever move. Neil Cowie just forced into touch there. But sleight of hand from the big former Llanelli man. Just watch Quinnell here. He's held up. Oh, he slips that ball like a magician. But good cover from Paul Newlove.
That's good play from Wigan. They'd run the ball on the last tackle. There's nothing wrong with handing the ball over the opposition on their own goal line.
A lot of responsibility here now on Bobby Goulding's shoulders. As Ian Pickavance comes on now for Busby. St Helens are spelling the forwards. Chris Joynt. Cunningham, he's got Paul Newlove on this outside. To Andy Northey. Andy Northey going for the line. Oh, a tremendous run by the former Waterloo centre star. Andy Northey. Saints on the attack. Cunningham, Goulding, they've got support out wide. Through ball, Simon Booth's lost the ball. If Booth had caught the ball there, he was over for a try. Superb play from Saints. Goulding's pass was pinpoint. He couldn't take it.
Bobby Goulding was in the hole. If Bobby Goulding ran himself, he scores a try.
I felt that Goulding was about to pass. Horton had launched himself, therefore creating the gap, and I agree with Steve on this occasion, he could have scored.
Robinson coming away again, doing a lot of work in midfield, relieving the Wigan line. Hall to O'Connor. There looks to me, Terry, a lot of tired players out there. The pace has been so quick.
Well, if you remember, out of the first 40 minutes, the ball was alive 32 minutes out of the 40. Now, that is going to take a lot out of these players, and I do agree, they are looking a little bit fatigued.
Edwards looking for a dummy run-around move. Finally decides to give it back to Horton. Edwards again. Oh, good run by Prescott. He's lost it. But a penalty. Mr. Russell judging that the ball was ripped out. Well, Russell Smith was right on the spot.
Yeah, we see here Prescott, mazy run from Prescott, but Tuigamala just came across the top and forced the ball out.
St Helens now throwing everything at Wigan. Apollo Perolini. Goulding looking for Metaltia. The strong running Western Samoan. On a huge success in the World Cup. Gets that ball out to Scott Gibbs. Gibbs shrugs off Hall, can't get away there from Cassidy. But a good quick play the ball. Kieran Cunningham. Well, now then, did Cassidy interfere from the acting half-back? I think he did. Scott Gibbs looking to make amends for that slip. Goulding, he's got support out wide, but he can't get the ball away. That was a good tackle by Cowie. Chris Joynt, that's a knock-on. Sean Edwards not very happy with the decision, but no hesitation from Russell Smith. A knock-on.
Good play from Chris Joynt, little kick that made Wigan play at it, and Gary Collins come up with the error. The big thing about this half is that St Helens have had the ball 10 times, only completed 6 sets to 6. Wigan have had it 8 and completed 8.
St Helens then in possession. Good switch move there. Prescott. Well read by Chris Redlinski. Gibbs to Paul Newlove. That's a good tackle from Martin O'Fire. Joey Hayes. He's a strong lad, he's barely 5'6". Just look at him. It takes two forwards to push him back. Goulding. Back inside to Pickavance. Gets the ball away. Cunningham again. This time to Hayes. Good tackle there by O'Connor. That drop forward for Wigan, having a good game. Scott Gibbs. Oh, he's just missed the bounce. Scott Gibbs knocked under. He was inches short. Tremendous effort by the Welsh centre.
Here we see Scott Gibbs, almost a replica of the early incident on his own line. He just reaching out, trying to put the ball down, and he just couldn't reach.
He's put the ball down on the same side, both ends, in the field of play.
And one begins to ask, Terry, what more can St Helens do on attack? This Wigan defence is, it keeps repelling them.
Well, Wigan have seized the initiative in this half, and to be honest, they've got their tails up and they're tackling like tigers at the moment.
Still 8 points difference between the two sides. Not a lot with quite a few minutes remaining, but it's that man Henry Paul again to Neil Cowie down this side. He's got to pass, he's nowhere to go. Good tackling by Joynton Newlock.
You see the tackles here. St Helens have made 117 to Wigan 116. It's as even as any game is going to be.
Good break there by Sean Edwards. Well covered. Connolly. Quinnell having a charge himself. Martin Hall. Edwards again. Switches inside to Tringamala. Tringamala's got the strength and power. But held there by Chris Joynt. Back to Sean Edwards. He's looking for a drop goal. And he takes it. Or does he not? Yes, he does. Quick thinking again by Sean Edwards. He spotted the chance. He put himself back into position. And he gratefully accepted the 1 point.
You look here, Sean Edwards all the time in the world. No pressure whatsoever put on him. And the easy 1 pointer there.
Yeah, the maestro Edwards, deep behind the acting half-back, took his time, eye on the ball, splendid technique for the 1 point.
You notice now, St Helens has stopped moving forward in defence. In the first half, Wigan were only making 20 to 30, maybe 30 yards in sets in 6 tackles. They just made nearly 70 yards in that set of 6 tackles then.
Chris Radlinski to restart. With a powerful kick. Newlock. And Northey. He certainly looks plenty of running, does this substitute Northey.
Yeah, he's a very powerful player. He's made the transition tremendously well, and he's having a fine season, and he's added some value to this Saints attack in this half.
Pickavance. Good surging run there from the prop forward, and that's still moving. Cunningham taking advantage there of Wigan. O'Connor was walking backwards. Goulding, superb pass to Hammond. Puts it out wide to Northey. The Wigan cover's coming across. He can't shrug off Jason Robinson. But a tremendous reply again from the Saints. And that's a penalty. Holding down. 6 more tackles. Booth. Oh, does he realise it's the 6th tackle? Why did he put the little grubber kick in there?
He obviously didn't know what the score was there, because, to be honest, they had a whole set of 6 again after that improvement from Edwards, and Saints will be kicking their heels there, Steve.
Well, I certainly will. Eric Hughes won't be too thrilled about that. 2nd tackle there. They've just got had Wigan on the road. Sean Edwards give a penalty away in the last tackle. Set everything up for St Helens there, and he's put in that kick.
Well, certainly Eric Hughes will be in communication with the bench down there. Possibly last quarter instructions. Prescott. Certainly that rubber kick, Terry, took all the pressure off Wigan.
It did. It was particularly disappointing from Saints' point of view because they were just putting some pressure on the Wigan defence, perhaps getting tired, and you know, perhaps Saints could have come up with some points, would have sort of set up the last 10 minutes or so, but regrettably, from their point of view, it didn't happen.
Kieran Cunningham was looking for support there, didn't find it. Chris Joints, well held. Simon Horton picked up his England colleague well there. Hammond. Oh, that's a nice pass to Gibbs. To Hayes. Hammond again. Well read by Connolly. That was brave play when you think that lad's got 10 stitches around his mouth area. Diving for a low ball like that. Ofire trying to break loose. Cassidy. St Helens have got to contain Wigan now in this 20-minute area, Steve.
That's where they've got to keep them. But the main thing they've got to do, St Helens, and what they're not doing at the moment, is the control of football. They're panicking, they're trying to score off every play.
Wigan using these sets of 6 to good effect. Cowie. To Megamala. To Sean Edwards. And Wigan will be quite content to keep St Helens down here.
You see the possession here. St Helens have had more possession than Wigan, 58% to Wigan's 42. Wigan have had the ball 11 times and completed 11. St Helens have had it 14 times, only completed 9.
Good run there by Joey Hayes. All is not over in this match by any means. Bobby Goulding coming away. Well tracked there by Sean Edwards. Perolini tries to blast Quinnell out of the way, but he loses the ball. Now then, has Mr. Smith spotted ball stealing? He has, on the blind side, I think.
A splendid run from Perolini there, but under the auspices of the Wigan pack, the ball was just ripped away, and that'll give Saints a chance to try and get some points on.
Perolini. And Scott Quinnell going off there. He's worked hard, there's the big man. And Martin Dermott, former Great Britain hooker, coming on. But it's this St Helens pack now that's commanding here. Just a metre short. Pickavance looking for a quick play the ball. Switch to Goulding. Back inside to Metautia. That was well held. Oh, that was a try-saving tackle from Simon Horton. Back again from the acting half-back position. He put the draw down. That's a try. I'm certain. Yes. Kieran Cunningham managed to. Well, he almost had one of those. Maxwell extending arms there, Terry. It just seemed to come from nowhere. The ball was put down over the try line, and haven't we got a game now? Tremendous effort.
Kieran Cunningham here just brings his side back into this game. Tremendous drive, and his arm just comes out like an extended robot arm and just puts it down. It's a great result.
Now Wigan here, they've got 4 players around Kieran Cunningham. Not one of them go for the football. Not one of them tried to hold the ball up there. And in the end result, Kieran Cunningham's allowed to get one arm free, put the ball down for a try.
An important kick here for Bobby Goulding. Not a difficult kick by normal standards, but the pressure here in this Regal trophy, intense on Goulding. He's up to it. The conversion then successful for Bobby Goulding. St Helens fans at last sense that their team is coming back. 3 points the difference between the two sides. Everything to play for here at the McAlpine Stadium.
Kieran Cunningham, the Welsh hooker, he just powers his way. There's 4 players there. Edwards tries to hold him, but he just wrestles his arm free for a great score. Three
3 points the difference. 8 minutes remaining. 19-16 in the holders' favour. Wigan with fresh legs on there and half-back in Martin Dermott. To O'Connor. There is Dermott. Jason Robinson. And St Helens will be desperate to get hold of this ball. Wigan eager just to keep hold of it. No, says Edwards. Will play the game down in St Helens half. All well taken again by Prescott. He's got his opposite number to beat.
And it won't be easy for St Helens because the winger Joey Hayes has pulled his left hamstring. He's staying on the field, but he's in some difficulty. The other factor is that Wigan have got 3 substitutes left and St Helens only have 1.
Joey Hayes, we can see him struggling there, but a game lad, a big heart under that jersey. St Helens, Andy Northey, rushes his way through, he keeps running. Tremendous play from the St Helens substitute since his arrival. Pass inside to Joint. St Helens piling the pressure on again here now. Cunningham, he's got Hammond outside him. Inside to Gibbs. Scott Gibbs driving in here now. But that's another good tackle there from Horton. On the fifth tackle, Goulding across the face of the post to Matautia. Matautia charges in. He can't get over that try line. And again, it's Terry O'Connor who's there. What a wonderful game the Wigan props had there, Terry.
He's had a blinder as this O'Connor, but what a game this, Ray. The tension in this stadium is absolutely electric.
Well, I think whoever wins or loses this match, Steve, it's been a wonderful advert for the game.
It's been a great game of rugby league. Both teams have played great open rugby league, and if this is any indication of what the Super League's going to be like, we're in for a treat.
6 minutes remaining. 6 minutes remaining. Martin O'Fire looking to go half the length of the field. Just 3 points between the two sides. Sean Edwards look for support inside. Finds Henry Paul. Oh, that's a good switch to Neil Cowie. Back to Hall. Superb sleight of hand to Ingamala, trying to burst through. It's St Helens ball. Matautia looks very tired. Cunningham says what? Not me again.
This young lad Cunningham's had a blinder as well, Ray. He's made oceans of space from acting half-back, and he's obviously came up with that very important try.
Scott Gibbs coming down the centre of the pitch. Good tackle by Cassidy, but that's a good 20 metres gain. Prescott to Goulding. Goulding, he's got Northey this side. He's taking some putting down, is Andy Northey. Inside the last 5 minutes in this Regal Trophy final. Paul Newlow. And you can't do that now. You've got to stand square. Mr. Smith just telling Cassidy he had to stand square, and that is a penalty as a voluntary tackle.
Yeah, well, he's come around. He's ruled that he's not standing square on there. Plus, he had his hands on top of the man playing the ball, and you can't do that either. Second time Wigan's given a penalty away in the last tackle.
The seconds ticking away. St Helens looking for glory here. A try would do it. Hammond inside to Perellini. Shrugs off a couple. Perellini going for the sign. He's held up there. Desperate tackle there by Henry Paul. 3 metres from the Wigan line. Goulding can't find any space. Back to where he started. Still the Wigan defence coming out. Hammond looks for the long pass. Loses the ball. Carl Hammond there in 2 minds, Terry, as to what to do.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was looking for his runners. He teased them with the dummy, but when Neil Cowie came in, he just lost it.
Penalty errors, 11 to St Helens, 8 to Wigan. Wigan have actually only made 1 error in their sets of 6 in this half.
And as we see the seconds ticking down there, Terry, Wigan will just want to hold this ball for 4 or 5 tackles, and then Sean Edwards with a huge boot downfield.
Yes, it's an old cliche, but if Wigan have the ball, Saints can't score. But when this guy's on the field, Robinson, you never know, do you, Ray?
Martin afire, taking pressure off his pack. 3 minutes remaining. Forward, good run there by Afire, but well held by Prescott. Still Wigan in possession. Wigan controlling the game. 19 points to 16. 2 tackles remaining in this sequence. Henry Paul. O'Connor. Grabs for the ball. And Sean Edwards there. Good captaincy. Having a word with O'Connor as he lost this ball. Sean Edwards knows how important that mistake could be.
It's better to lose the football in the opposition's half than in your own half, and that's where Wigan have turned the ball over in St Helens' half.
St Helens then, is this the last chance? Bobby Goulding coming away down the middle. Looked for support, no one there. 2 minutes remaining now, 3 points the difference. Matautia. Hammond. Perolini. Solid tackling here by Wigan. I'm sure these players will soak for a long, long time in the bath after this game. And that's a penalty. And that could be a costly penalty. Not playing the ball there correctly. There we see it. It doesn't go between his legs. And could that be the end of St Helens, Steve?
Well, there's still time. As long as there's time, they've still got a chance. Pickavance there just slipped out the back of his arms there, and Wigan get the penalty.
Bit of fatigue there from Ian Pickavance. He's had a sound game, but just late in the game, the brain just switches off and he just lost control of what is a natural event to play the ball.
Jason Robinson, he'll dance around, he'll absorb the seconds in this last minute. I think there'll be very little injury time. Edwards, Cowie, Wigan calling up those last reserves of energy here now. Back inside to Henry Paul making one last dash. That's a good tackle. Well, he's still not tackled, he's got up again. Like an India rubber ball, Henry Paul bouncing off one defender, onto the other. Sean Edwards. Robinson, St Helens picked the ball up off that grubber kick. But they've an awfully long way to go. 95 metres to the other end of the field. Coming up to injury time now. Joey Hayes playing with a slight hamstring pull. Goulding. One last gasperous effort from St Helens to Scott Gibbs. Scott Gibbs there, I think that's going to be a penalty. Leading with the elbow into that tackle.
You'll have a look here, Scott Gibbs brings the elbow. Oh, it's a bad elbow to the jaw of to Horton there, Simon Horton it is.
Yep.
Scott Gibbs just comes up there, he lifts that right elbow, and Simon Horton coming in to tackle him, just gets on the end of it.
And there we see the sad, forlorn figure of Scott Gibbs being sent off there, raising the elbow at the last minute in the tackle. Always a dangerous tactic. And Mr Smith having no hesitation, the Welshman sent from the field.
I think that's a strange decision from Sean Edwards there, not kicking for goal. He's found touch. It's still at the end of the game. If he takes the 2 points, they put the ball back deep into St Helens. St Helens, if he misses the goal, they get it back with a goal line drop out.
Well, I think Wigan probably confident in their handling of the forwards here now. They'll just send one forward after another down at the line. They'll not be too bothered about scoring. And Kieran Cunningham, deservedly, I think, man of the match. Tremendous stint of tackling, some good runs around the ruck area. And a credit to all 26 players. The fitness demands in rugby league today, evident in this 80 minutes. Edwards. Henry Paul cutting through. Oh, and Henry Paul puts the icing on the cake. this last season that proved the difference between these two sides. And here is the Kiwi magician again, Henry Paul. Absolute confidence in his ability. Decided to go, no one could stop him.
Henry Paul, a bit of magic again, right foot step, gets across, right foot step again, gets round Prescott, Perolini can't hang on to him, a great solo effort.
The balance of this player is absolutely phenomenal. He just steps and speeds away. He's got great pace coming out of those steps, and a splendid try.
You'll have a look here. Sean Edwards, he offloads to Henry Paul. Henry Paul does it all himself, no help from anybody. Great step, goes through a high tackle there, step off his right foot, takes Perolini over the line, and that seals it for Wigan.
And here he is with the conversion attempt. I don't think it will bother him whether it goes over or under the post, nor will it bother Graham West, the successful goal. But they're always much better and nicer when they go over the post. Wigan fans at last sense that the trophy is theirs. And Wigan, once again, stretch their record to 8 Regal trophy titles. And Sean Edwards, one of the inspirations behind it all, prodding his team when it was needed and having a word of encouragement when necessary. And Henry Paul, the man who came up with the magic when it was necessary. Delight on his face. Wigan bringing the prize money to almost £250,000 in this tournament. Jason Robinson, 1 minute on the wing, the next minute at full-back, but always in the thick of the things in the middle. And Twingamala there. Bobby Goulding, what a good game he had. He kept the Saints forwards moving forward in that last quarter. Steve Prescott, brave effort from full-back. Simon Booth, tremendous stint of tackling.
Henry Paul, congratulations. I'm not quite sure how Wigan won that, but I guess you are, aren't you?
I've got nothing to say. I'm too exhausted.
I mean, I think your first try, turned it really, didn't it?
Just something, I don't know what happened. I just stepped off my right foot and they came across and things are flashing and lights are going and people are laughing and I don't know, it's just taking up the whole thing.
Great to wrap it up with a try right at the end.
Wow, I mean, we didn't want to leave it till the end, but unfortunately it had to happen.
You can see the try they scored now.
Well, I can't remember much about it. I'm just so thankful that our team won today, and I just love all our teammates. And hello to my mum and dad and all my family back in New Zealand and my little nephew, my little namesake Henry. Love you. I love everyone back home.
But it was a great performance too by St Helens. You'll concede that, won't you?
Oh, they should have won the game. You know, at times we looked really shabby and we didn't do the things that we were supposed to do, but something was on our side and we won. So I'm just grateful.
And you've kept the trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be delighted down there in Auckland and New Zealand with Henry Paul's performance. And Bobby Goulding, the losing skipper, and Kieran Cunningham acknowledging the tremendous support they had from the St Helens public. Paul Newlove coming into this game off an injury, perhaps not quite at full fitness. But Wigan going up now to receive the trophy from Mr Graham Blashill, the Sales and Marketing Director of Imperial Tobacco. Sean Edwards receiving his 7th winners' medal, and would you believe it, his 25th winners' medal in all knockout competitions. Wigan, the Regal Trophy holders for 1996, and the record goes on. The Invincibles, O'Connor, Chris Redlinski, the youngster keen to get his hands on the trophy. Simon Horton, Martin Dermott got a taste of the action in the final quarter. I don't think Gary Connolly will kiss the cup with those stitches in his mouth. Martin up fire. And Scott Quinnell, his first trophy winners' medal in Rugby League. Cassidy and Cowie, what a tremendous stint of work they did. Martin Hall, active around the ruck area. Bob Spine and Jason Robinson. Thing to Ingamala. Wonderful effort from the holders. At one stage in the game, they looked to be down and out. But one can never write off this Wigan side. Surely, in sport, one of the great sides. And Bobby Goulding has to be content with a second loser's medal. Steve Prescott, they've spent heavily in the past 15 months to catch up with their derby rivals, but still plenty to do. But certainly played their part in a most enjoyable final. Anthony Sullivan not happy with that calf muscle problem. Paul Newlove, Simon Booth tackled well. Andy Northey relished his time on the field, as did Via Matautia. Chris Joynt and Apollo Perolini got through a lot of hard work up front there. And Mr. Smith. And how many times do we see that, Terry?
Yes, it's the sweet smell of success. It's like a superb perfume, that smell, and Wigan, they're at it again, as we'd say, and they look tremendously well there and happy with the way in which it's turned out today.
Congratulations, say the fireworks, as if we haven't had enough stars on the field. We have them off the field. And certainly, Steve, this Wigan side must be one of the great teams in any sport.
Well, I think what they have got, they've got a lot of good individuals that can turn a game. The Twigger Marlins, the Henry Pauls, all them players in a twinkling of an eye can change the complex of the game. And St Helens, as we said, had all the play, had a lot of the ball, but in the end, it was the individuality of the Wigan team that won the game.
And as if we haven't had enough noise here at Steve McAlpine, off we go.
Sean Edwards with the trophy once again. Wigan once again, but a wonderful, wonderful match. The Regal Trophy final, Rugby League at its absolute best.